from the Big Flim studio in Southern California. This is Big Flim's Pigskin Picks NFL edition with your host, Lorenzo Big Flim Fleming. Hey folks, what's going on? This is your host Lorenzo Big Flim Fleming coming to you once again with another episode of Big Flim's Pigskin Picks NFL edition for week number 13 here on Big Flim Radio and TV. And I guess by now you probably heard, going into the college football realm, of the 4 teams that'll be playing in the 2023 college football playoffs. The selection has been made, and of course there's a bunch of angry folks, including myself, since I'm a Georgia Bulldog fan, diehard Georgia Bulldog fan and stuff, how they lost a heartbreaker to Alabama in the SEC title game yesterday, and they was hoping that the coach Kirby Smart will have a strong case for Georgia to be one of the 4 teams in the college football playoffs, but unfortunately Michigan and Florida State kind of ruined Georgia's dream on that when they won their games. So that basically shut the door on Georgia. And it was a surprise that Texas, so for those who don't know yet, some of you folks already know now, this number 1, Michigan, number 2, Washington, the 2 undefeated teams. Then you got Texas at number 3, and of course Alabama's at number 4. And right now the biggest news is Florida State getting screwed out of one of those 4 playoff spots, and that's creating a lot of tension right now. Florida State 13-0 won the ACC conference championship, even with a backup quarterback, but they don't get no love from the tournament selection committee. Of course, it's all about money, parity, and ratings. So that's another discussion for Big Flim's Pigskin Picks College Football Edition podcast show. But we're focusing on the NFL here for week number 13. So you know how I feel about that. Like I said, I wish Georgia could go in there and defend their 2-time national championship, but there's next year. And plus with the college football playoff field expanding to 12 teams next year, we're going to have this argument. But let's get back to the subject at hand, shall we? Like I said, it's week number 13 of the NFL season, and right now we got a lot of teams that are setting themselves apart for the playoffs and stuff like that. And there's some teams that are trying to fight to survive to get one of those wild card spots. So right now, let's go to our stats. Like I said, there were a couple of picks that we missed last week's game, but luckily we were 5-3 last week for the picks that we did make, and plus it was Thanksgiving weekend. It was like 3 or 4 games that we didn't pick either, so that kind of hurt our numbers as well. So now, as of week 13, we're sitting at 40-24 with a winning percentage of 63%, or if you want to be accurate, 62.5%. So we're doing pretty good, and we're 3-1 in our Pigskin Pick of the Week. So hopefully we'll continue to expand on that. All right, folks, let's start with our picks, shall we? Like I said, we'll start off with my home state team, the Atlanta Falcons, a.k.a. the Pigeons. Like I said, last week, they got a win last week, snapping a 2-game losing streak. So right now, they're 1 game below 500 at 5-6 as they traveled to MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey to take on the New York Jets. And they're struggling at 4-7 in the AFC East. Right now, of course, you know that Aaron Rodgers was the big signing for the Jets, and he tore his Achilles tendon on the first play of the first game of the season, and he's out for the season. And right now, he started doing a little bit of practicing now this past week, and some folks trying to make some news out of that, thinking that he might try to come back before the end of the season. But for his sake, it'd be best to just go ahead and just sit the rest of the season out and just be ready for next season for his health and benefit. My personal opinion. Or our personal opinion, that is. Right now, the odds makers got the Falcons at a -2.5 point favorite with an over and under of 34, and I can see why. How the previous 2 games before last week's game, where the Falcons had the lead in the fourth quarter within 2 minutes left in the game, and how their defense fell asleep and let the opposing team score within a minute left in the game in the previous 2 games before last week, where the Falcons could have been 6-4 at the time instead of 4-6. Where now they're 5-6. They won last week to snap their 2-game losing streak. So we're hoping that the defense will wake up and get their act together. And also Desmond Ridder, need to do a little bit better with that offense, get that running game going, and also improve on his passing as well. Excuse me. So we're going to go with the with the Falcons over the Jets. Also, we had a Thursday night game. Like I said, it was a key NFC matchup, especially for the wild card position for both teams. Well, at least one team. Well, actually, both teams. You got the 6-5 Seattle Seahawks travel down to Big D, Dallas, Texas, to take on the 8-3 Dallas Cowboys, aka the Cowpokes. And Dallas won handily there against the Seahawks. And both those teams definitely need to do what they got to do to get a wild card spot if they can't clinch their respective divisions. So right now, Dallas beating Seattle, they take one step closer to being, locking up one of those playoff spots, especially if Philadelphia is not floundering anytime soon. All right, our next pick we have the 6-5 Indianapolis Colts traveling down to Nashville, Tennessee, Music City, USA, to take on the struggling 4-7 Titans. Right now, the Colts seem like they're doing pretty good. Like I said, their first round pick, the 5th overall pick, Anthony Richardson, got banged up beginning of the season, concussion protocol, and now he's out for the rest of the season, shoulder injury. And Gunter Minshew is stepping up to the plate to help carry the load for the Indianapolis Colts. And right now, Ryan Tannehill, he's kind of struggling and stuff like that. So right now, the odds makers are kind of nervous. So right now, the odds makers got the Colts at a -1 point favorite with the over and under 42.5. But I think the Colts going to probably beat the Titans in a close one. All right, our next pick, we have 2 struggling teams in the AFC. We got the 4-7 LA Chargers traveling to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts, to take on the woeful 2-9 New England Patriots. Who would have thought within the last 2 years the Patriots fallen from their once mighty perch in the NFL's hierarchy? They were the dominant team in the NFL, winning Super Bowls and going to the Super Bowl with Tom Brady and whatever. Then Tom Brady left to win a Super Bowl down in Tampa, and now he's retired. And his heir apparent Mac Jones is really struggling with Bill Belichick and whatever. And I don't know how long Bill Belichick will manage to stay around to coach anymore. This would really be his losing season here. And right now, the odds makers got the Chargers at a -5.5 point favorite with an over and under of 40.5. And who are we to disagree with the odds makers? So we're going to go with the Chargers over the Jets. The Chargers over the Patriots. Excuse me. We gotta watch our script here. Watch what we're reading here. All right, our next pick we have the 8-3, the resurging 8-3 Detroit Lions from the Motor City, Motown, Detroit, as they travel down to the Crescent City, New Orleans, to take on the struggling 5-6 New Orleans Saints, or the Aints, or the Who Dats, or the So Whats. Right now, of course, you know that Jared Goff and company, they were doing real good with the Lions and everything. And then the Lions, right now, they're currently, if I understand, they're currently leading the NFC North division as of right now. So yeah, I think sorry for the pause there, folks. Yeah, the Lions are leading the NFC North division. And right now, the odds makers have the Lions a 4-point favorite with an over and under of 47. And who are we to disagree with the odds makers? So we're going to stick with the Lions over the Saints in a close one. So folks, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with Big Flim's Pigskin Picks NFL edition for week number 13 here on Big Flim Radio and TV. Hey folks, this is Big Flim Radio TV podcast channel creator, host, yours truly, Lorenzo Big Flim Fleming here, reminding you, the listeners, to be safe out there during this holiday season. Be cognizant of your surroundings while you are out shopping and celebrating the holidays. Park in a well-lit area, place your purchases out of plain view, and definitely lock your doors, both your home and automobile. If you are out partying, please drink responsibly and catch a cab or an Uber, Lyft, etc. to take you home if you have had too much to drink. Please don't get behind the wheel if you're intoxicated, because it's not worth losing your life or someone else's life during this holiday season. Big Flim Radio and TV wants you and your family members to be around in the coming new year. Happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, and happy Kwanzaa from your friends at Big Flim Radio and TV.
Flim Radio wants you to know that approximately every 51 minutes, someone is killed in a drunk driving crash. Buzz driving can also cause huge financial penalties with fines and legal fees. Friends, don't let friends drive drunk. Find out more at nhtsa.org.
Who are you?
We're Big Flim Radio and TV.
Hey folks, welcome back. If you haven't heard by now, Big Flim Radio and TV is a podcast channel dedicated to music, talk, sports, as of right now, college football and NFL football, but we're looking to expand to other sports as well, and veterans music and veterans information and issues. And also, we have a nice online store where we sell Big Flim Radio and TV themed merch. Especially for this upcoming season, if you're trying to find a nice gift for that special someone, a family member, a co-worker, a stranger, an alien from Mars or an alien from the other side of the galaxy, or a special care package gift for some service member who's currently deployed during this holiday season. By all means, please check out our website at www.bigflimradiotv.com. Again, that's www.bigflimradiotv.com. That's BIGFLEMRADIOTV, all one word. And also, if you want to be a guest picker on this or prognosticator on this podcast show or our Big Flim's Pigskin Picks College Football Edition, like I said, we won't have too many more podcast episodes for that show for the rest of the college football season. Or if you want to dedicate a song on one of our music podcast shows, or if you want to drop us a song that you want us to play during one of our music shows, or if you want to be a guest on one of our guest hosts of one of our talk shows, or also if you're a veteran, if you want to share some information with our fellow veteran listeners out there, or if you want to just critique us and send us comments on how well Big Flim Radio and TV is doing and what we can do to improve our product for your listening pleasure. Or if you need somebody to talk to, because right now, the holiday season, this is one of those times of the year where people get depressed and anxious and worried and have no one to talk to, and they feel that their life is hopeless and they feel that suicide is the answer. We're telling you now that suicide is not the answer, and there's someone here who cares and who listens, who wants to talk to you and listen to you. By all means, please, get into contact with us at bigflimradiotv@gmail.com. Again, that's bigflimradiotv@gmail.com. And also, if you're a business out there, if you want to sponsor one of our podcast shows, or you want to have a commercial to promote your business or your product on Big Flim Radio and TV, on Big Flim Radio and TV podcast channel, by all means, please contact us at the email address as well. You can talk to us and see what we can do to work together and collaborate on promoting your business on our podcast platform. And we're also on the social media platform as well. You can also do the same thing on our Twitter, or X, formerly known as Twitter, with the handle at @Flim_radio. Again, that's at Flim, FLEM as in Mike, _radio, RADIO. Also, we have a Facebook group page for Big Flim Radio and TV. Just look for us on Facebook. And also, we have a YouTube channel also as well, where we make some videos. Well, actually, we have some videos of our audio versions of our podcast shows. And also, we have some videos that we make that correlate with some of our podcast shows. And also, we have some archival footage for your viewing pleasure that you would like to look at, where we talk about, or I talk about, some things of importance, or military duty, or other things that I would like to share with our audience. By all means, you can like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Is at Big Flim Radio TV 9011. Again, that's Big Flim Radio TV 9011. And hit the like button and subscribe to our channel, so that way we can produce more quality video content for your viewing pleasure, and also help support our YouTube channel as well. And also, please pass the word on to your friends or loved ones and your stranger or co-worker, and let them know about Big Flim Radio and TV podcast channel. That way we can expand our listening audience as well. That is the goal for us, is to expand our viewership and our listenership. And hopefully get more listeners out there. All right, now let's get back to our picks, shall we? All right, our next pick we have the struggling 2-10 Arizona Cardinals as they travel to the Steel City, Pittsburgh, to take on the 7-4 Pittsburgh Steelers and Mike Tomlin and company. Like I said, we saw that game last week against the Bengals, how they handled the Bengals last week, aka the Bungles. And right now, the odds makers have the Steelers at a -5.5 point favorite with an over and under of 41. And we're going to stick with the odds makers and go with the Steelers over the Cardinals handily in this game. All right, our next matchup, where we have the surging 8-3 Miami Dolphins, a.k.a. the Tuna Fish, out of South Florida, Miami-Dade County. I also like to say hi to my cousins, Keith Woodbury, Shonda Woodbury Williams, Tangela Woodbury Dunham, Paul Dunham, and Tony Woodbury, Antoine Williams, and his brother, and all the other folks there in Miami-Dade County who are listening, if they are listening. Like I say, they traveled to D.C. to take on the struggling 4-8 Washington Commanders. Right now, of course, the Dolphins are really surging this year. Tua, really got it going with Tyreek Hill. And also they got their, their defensive cornerback they got there, Jalen Ramsey. He's showing out there for the Dolphins. Right now, the odds makers got the Dolphins at a -9.5 point favorite with an over and under 49.5. Who are we to disagree with the odds makers? So we're going to go with the Dolphins, aka the Tuna Fish, over the Washington Commanders. All right, our next matchup will be a very interesting matchup, where we have the resurging 6-5 Denver Broncos after starting off terribly to start the season, but now they finally starting to turn things around under Sean Payton and Russell Wilson as they travel to Houston, where they take on the also resurging 6-5 Texans under first-year quarterback C.J. Stroud. Right now, both teams are very hot. Both teams are very hot right now. And we'll see who has the more momentum in this game. Right now, the odds makers got the Texans at a -3.5 point favorite with an over and under of 47.5. Who are we to disagree with the odds makers? So we're going to go with the Texans over the Broncos in a close one. And that one should be... No. No, we'll stick with the Texans over the Broncos in a close one, folks. All right, our next pick is kind of a no-brainer, but we got the definitely woeful 1-10 Carolina Panthers. As of course you know, Mike Tepper, the owner of the Carolina Panthers, fired their first-year coach Frank Reich after 11 games. He's out the door, so he's the second NFL coach to get fired this season before Black Friday. Excuse me, folks. I got that clear my throat there before Black Friday. Or Black Monday, excuse me. So we already got 2 coaches that got fired already this season. And right now they got the interim coach filling in as they travel to Tampa to take on the woeful 4-7 Tampa Bay Buccaneers, aka the Succaneers. Decided to bring that nickname back, after they had their glory days with winning the Super Bowl with Tom Brady, and now Tom Brady's retired, and Rob Gronkowski's retired. So now they're starting to go into irrelevance again. Right now, the odds makers got the Buccaneers at minus 5.5 point favorite with an over and under of 37, with Baker Mayfield and company as the starting quarterback, Mike Evans, running back, and was it Mike Goodwin's their receiver. Right now, we just want to show some love to Bryce Young, the first overall pick in the draft, and hopefully they'll get their second win of the season, and hopefully they give their interim coach a first win to hopefully turn things around for the franchise and for the owner, Mike Tepper. So we're going to go against the odds. We're going to pick the Panthers to upset the Buccaneers in this game, folks. Call us crazy, but hey, we got to show Bryce Young some love there in Carolina, in the Queen City. All right, our next pick, we have the Browns at 7-4 as they travel to LA to SoFi Stadium. They're in Inglewood, the Wood, to take on the struggling 5-6 LA Rams, aka the Sheep. Excuse me again. Had to clear my throat. The Browns are doing pretty good so far. Right now, they have Joe Flacco, the former Super Bowl winning quarterback from the Baltimore Ravens. Now he's been called up to guide the franchise now after Deshaun Watson. He's banged up and he's out for the season. And his backup got hurt also. So they signed Joe Flacco to take over. So right now the odds makers got the Rams that are minus 3.5 point favorite with an over and under of 40. But we're going to go with the Browns over the Rams and Matthew Stafford and Sam Darnold. All right. We have a key NFC matchup here where we got the 8-3 49ers the leaders of the NFC West division, as they take on the defending NFC East champion, the 10-1 Philadelphia Eagles. And this will be our pigskin pick of the week here. And this is a key matchup. Like I said, they could be a key matchup in the NFC during the playoffs. Hopefully these two teams will play each other, will stay in the playoffs and meet up in the NFC Championship game. So this could be a key indicator for the NFC Championship game coming up if both teams survive. So right now the odds makers got the 49ers at a minus 3 point favorite with an over and under 47.5. But we're going to stick with the defending NFC champion, and my man Jalen Hurts from the SEC from Alabama, and of course Jordan Davis, excuse me, and Jacoby Dean of that big Eagles defense, former University of Georgia players who won national champions and stuff. So we're going to go with the Eagles over the 49ers in a close one, and this will be our pigskin pick of the week. Then our Sunday night matchup, we have the 8-3 Kansas City Chiefs traveling to the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field to take on the struggling 5-6 Packers. Right now, of course, Jordan Love, he's starting this year, and right now things are not going too well for the Packers. And of course, you got the defending Super Bowl champions coming to town with Travis Kelce. And of course, who knows, maybe Taylor Swift might show up there at Lambeau Field. We shall see. Right now, the odds makers got the Chiefs as a 6-point favorite with the over and under 42.5. So we're going to stick with the Chiefs over the Packers. And hopefully Taylor Swift will make an appearance there, rooting on Travis Kelce and company. And then our Monday night matchup, we have the 5-6 struggling Bengals, a.k.a. the Bungles. This one's for Philip Lay and his wife Lisa Den. As they travel down south to Jacksonville, Duval County, Northeast Florida, as they take on the surging 8-3 Jacksonville Jaguars with Trevor Lawrence and company. Right now, like I said, the Bengals are really struggling, and right now Joe Burrow, he's out as of right now. He's out for the season with I think it's a hand or wrist injury. I think he had surgery on it this past week or so, or 2 weeks ago. So Joe Koo is out for the rest of the season. Now they got their backup Browning carrying the team right now. So right now the odds makers have got the Jaguars at a minus 8.5-point favorite with an over and under of 38. And who are we to go against the grain against the experts? So we're going to go with the Jaguars handily beating the Cincinnati Bengals, a.k.a. the Bungles. Sorry, Phil Lay and Lisa Den, if you're listening. All right, folks, we'll be right back to wrap up this podcast episode of Big Flim's Pigskin Picks NFL edition for week number 13, 2023, here on Big Flim Radio and TV.
Flim Radio wants you to know that approximately every 51 minutes, someone is killed in a drunk driving crash. Buzz driving can also cause huge financial penalties with fines and legal fees. Friends, don't let friends drive drunk. Find out more at nhtsa.org. Gnarly, dude. This is Jess Bacoli. When I'm out hanging 10, catching the waves, checking out the chicks, and skipping Mr. Hand's class, I'm just listening to Big Flim Radio and TV. Oh.
Hey, folks, welcome back. Like I said, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this episode of Big Flim's Pigskin Picks NFL edition for week number 13 here. And also, before we do that, we have a couple of teams that they're on their buys this week. We got the Baltimore Ravens at 9-3. We got the Baltimore Ravens, at 9-3. We have the Buffalo Bills at 6-6. We have the struggling Chicago Bears, the Bears, at 4-8. And we got the struggling Las Vegas Raiders at 5-7. We have the Minnesota Vikings at 6-6. And we got the New York Giants, aka the Midgets, at 4-8. Excuse me again, folks. I had to clear my throat. Let's go over a recap of our picks, shall we? We got the Falcons over the Jets. We got the Colts over the Titans. We got the LA Chargers over the New England Patriots. We got the Detroit Lions over the New Orleans Saints, the Aints or the Hoodats. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers over the Arizona Cardinals. We got the Miami Dolphins, a.k.a. the Tuna Fish, over the Washington Commanders. We got the Houston Texans over the Denver Broncos. We got the Carolina Pathetic Panthers over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a.k.a. the Succaneers. We have the Browns over the Rams, a.k.a. the Sheep. We have the Philadelphia Eagles over the 49ers in a close one for our pigskin pick of the week. We got the defending Super Bowl champion, the Kansas City Chiefs, over the Packers for our Sunday night game. And we have the Jacksonville Jaguars over the struggling Cincinnati Bengals, a.k.a. the Bungles, for Phil Lay and Lisa Den for the Monday night matchup. And like I said just a minute ago, our bye teams are the Baltimore Ravens, the Buffalo Bills, the Chicago Bears, the Las Vegas Raiders, the Minnesota Vikings, and the New York Giants, aka the Midgets. So, with that being said, we will wrap up this episode of Big Flim's Pigskin Picks NFL Edition. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, that the college football playoff selection committee already selected their teams, 4 teams for their playoffs. You got number 1 Michigan, you got number 2 Washington, you got number 3 Texas, and number 4 Alabama. And there's a lot of hurt feelings out there for the Florida State fans, the Seminole fans, and of course my Bulldogs as well. But there's next year when the college football playoffs format expands to 12 teams next year. So hopefully that will solve a lot of the problems and a lot of arguments. So, all right, folks, enjoy the games and enjoy the rest of your Sunday and enjoy the rest of your weekend and be safe out there if you're out Christmas shopping and looking for a nice Christmas tree and all that good stuff and decorations and all that good stuff. Be blessed, be a blessing to someone, especially during this time of the year. If you see somebody homeless, if you're able and willing and caring, please try to help out if you can. And also, if you haven't had the flu shot, I suggest, get the flu shot. And also, be careful. There's traces of COVID-19 still out there. So if you haven't had your booster shot or if you haven't taken any COVID vaccines yet, I highly suggest that you do. But it is your choice. But if it's not for you, do it for your family or the elderly or the infants or your loved ones. And also watch out for the RSV respiratory viruses out there as well. And there's a booster shot there's a shot for that too. So make sure you take care of yourself. Like I said, there are 21 shopping days left. So you got 3 weeks to find that perfect gift for your loved ones, your family members, your friends, your coworkers, a stranger, alien from Mars, alien from the other side of the galaxy, and a good care package for service members who are currently deployed or stationed overseas during this holiday season. By all means, please check out our online store at Big Flim Radio and TV Podcast. Again, that's www.bigflimradiotv.com. Again, that's www.bigflimradiotv.com. And click on the online store, where you can find the Big Flim Radio and TV theme merchandise. All right, then. Take care. God bless. Be safe. Keep the faith. And stay strong. And we'll see you again next time for Big Flim's Pigskin Picks NFL Edition here on Big Flim Radio and TV. Take care, folks. Be safe.
Hi, I'm here today because I'm addicted.
Big Flim Radio and TV.
Get ready. You know.
Now that's an addiction, man.
Big Flim's Pigskin Picks NFL and College Football Editions are a production of Black Rebel Productions in association with Flim Media, a division of LWF Enterprises, LLC. The opening theme music clips are the sole properties of CBS Sports College Football as well as Fox NFL Sports. This podcast is intended for entertainment purposes only.